Okay, favorite movies of 2023. I'm just gonna do a quicker video this year just because I don't have time to edit anything more complicated. But anyway, first up, movies I have yet to watch but plan to watch them. American Fiction, The Zone of Interest, Killers of the Flower Moon, Anatomy of a Fall, Perfect Days. There might be other movies I watch between now and whenever the Oscars are in 2024. But those are the main ones that I still want to watch. They could end up on the list if I update it later. Follow me on Letterboxd for any updates. But anyway, second thing I want to say before we get into my top 10, the honorable mentions. So these are movies that I really liked, but just didn't quite make it into the top 10. May December, Barbie, the Super Mario Brothers movie, Poor Things, and Asteroid City. Okay, so number 10 is Godzilla Minus One, easily the most character-rich Godzilla movie of all time. I don't know if it's my favorite Godzilla movie of all time. That title might still belong to Godzilla vs. Megalon for very different reasons, but I still really enjoyed Godzilla Minus One. Number 9 is Monster or Kaibutsu, directed by Hirokazu Koreeda. I thought this was a really great human drama and a satire about the crappiness of Japanese bureaucracy, especially in the school system, and how it can negatively affect the parents, the teachers and staff, and obviously, of course, the kids. Number 8 is a tie between two great anime movies, Suzume and Blue Giant. Suzume is a supernatural road trip. I love road trip movies, especially anime road trip movies. And Blue Giant is a jazz themed underdog story. Honestly, I couldn't decide which one to put over the other, so it's a tie. Number 7 is Beau is Afraid, simultaneously the most stressful, the most bizarre, and also the most freaking hilarious movie of the year. Joaquin Phoenix has never been better, though I haven't seen Napoleon, but I doubt he's better in Napoleon than he is in Beau is Afraid. Okay, number 6 is Oppenheimer, a more down-to-earth story, I think, than Chris Nolan has ever tackled, but presented with the same epic, grand scale, and also I respect that dedication, that pure dedication to the craft of shooting on film and using practical effects, in-camera effects. Very cool movie. The Holdovers is my number 5. Just an incredibly well done slice of life story. It's funny, it's heartwarming, it's really cozy, and it's probably one of the best Christmas movies of all time. Number 4 is Sound Euphonium Ensemble Contest. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased. I just recently did that Sound Euphonium pilgrimage where I visited all the locations from the show. So yeah, I know literally nobody else in the world is gonna have Ensemble Contest on their list of the top 10 movies of the year, much less in their top 5. But you guys know me. No other series brings me this level of joy, so heck yeah, Sound Euphonium Ensemble Contest is of course on my list. Number 3 is the first Slam Dunk. Biggest surprise of the year. I've never watched or read Slam Dunk before, and the movie does have a little bit of slow start, but god dang did it get me emotional, and it got my adrenaline pumping. This was pure concentrated hype. This was easily one of the most exciting movies of the year. Number 2 is Across the Spider-Verse. Even though it ends in a cliffhanger, which still kind of does bother me, this is easily the most narratively ambitious and visually spectacular film of the year for me, and it ups the stakes from the already amazing first movie. And finally, my number 1 movie of the year was The Boy and the Heron, a movie about a boy in a dreamlike fantasy world that feels like it was birthed and delivered to us from an actual dreamlike fantasy world. This was my most anticipated movie of the year, maybe even of the last several years, and yet it still blew away my expectations and took me on a journey I could have never imagined. This movie, what can I say? This is a gift from one of the greatest living legends of animation and of filmmaking. It shouldn't exist, and yet it does, and I'm so grateful. But yeah, overall, this was a great year for film. It was a fantastic year for animation, and especially a great comeback year for Japanese anime movies. It felt so weird to have a top 10 list last year with no anime at all. It was also a big year for Asian American media, from Everything Everywhere's dominance at the Oscars to hit TV shows like Beef and American Born Chinese, to films like Past Lives, Joyride, and Shortcomings. This is the first year where I felt like I wasn't able to keep up with all of them. But anyway, 2023 was a great year for film. It was also a great year for this channel. We hit 2,000 subscribers, and as I mentioned earlier, I got to make that sound euphonium video, which was a dream video I've been wanting to make for ages. So thank you guys so much for joining me this year. So those are my favorite movies of the year. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have an awesome day.